What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Madden 17 commentary. Do me a favor, like button, subscribe button, criticism in the comment section. Twitter, shutdown safety is my username. Never thought I'd see the day that EA Sports comes out and tells us how the ratings are calculated, but lo and behold, at least for the defensive side of the ball, they have. And I know some of you are going to take this with a grain of salt. I know some people are probably going to go calculate a couple players and find out this is either wrong one way or another, but I was pretty interested in the fact that when you look at overall ratings, speed accounts for about as much as awareness and play recognition in an overall player build. And those are two of the things that in the community, we've really had a problem justifying what they do, what they are, how they make a player better. Everyone knows the importance of speed in Madden, and most people will tell you that it's the most important attribute. But to look at this and understand that things like awareness, which again, we've shown in videos, doesn't seem to change or affect how much a player plays. Play recognition, which again, doesn't seem to affect how well a player does on the field. When you talk about a rookie to a veteran, builds the overall numerical representation of a player just as much as pure straight line speed, which could, in essence, explain to us why we look at players that are 70, 75 overall that play just as well as 80, 85 overalls. Just as how a rookie can come in and play just as well as a veteran, because the numerics of the overall rating are clearly diminished by attributes which don't have an impact on the game. Now, if I had not seen this, I would have assumed that speed would have probably been in the neighborhood of 15 to 20%. Now we roughly know that it's half that. To me, the interesting thing is when you go back and you look at what really separates specific players, and I'll take cornerbacks for example, a tackling cornerback is very valued in the NFL. It's also kind of difficult to get a cornerback that'll come down and tackle, yet only 3% of a defensive back's overall rating is dependent on his tackling. You would think that if a tackling defensive back was available in the free market agency or was a player, he would be a much better player in terms of football. Football players, after all, do tackle, for lack of a better term. So it's interesting to me that that happens. There's also some empty categories here, which makes you wonder why things like finesse don't really mean anything to a defensive back. Why things like pursuit don't mean anything to a defensive back or a free safety. That really strikes me as strange, because I thought pursuit was going to the ball carrier. Defensive backs and safeties do that all the time. We also learned that catching means nothing for linebackers and linemen, which means those great catches we see from linebackers that go off on the offense in your second quarter of a preseason game, or because the depth chart is all screwed up, no matter how good they catch, it doesn't seem to matter. Well, now we know why. Jumping also doesn't mean much for a linebacker, which is crazy when you think about a few years ago, we had the middle linebacker jumps that really almost ruined the game. Here's something that almost damaged the game to a point where you couldn't play it. It meant nothing to the player's overall rating. I personally think everything a player can do should go into his rating, no matter what position he plays on the field. But this, to me, is big news. When EA comes out and shows us these ratings, it's done for a reason. Perhaps, like I alluded to, just a marketing tool, but maybe something that is going to be going away in the future. Who knows? Because now they've broken the code, if you will. Love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking it out. Back in the week with more commentary.